Well, hi guys. I have a bit of an impromptu live stream to bring you today because I am actually disgusted with the information that has just come out in the media regarding the Dalai Lama. And I'm sure everyone is aware because it's headline news that the Dalai Lama has actually on video asked a child to kiss him on the lips and suck his tongue. So I am basically directing this live stream and this video, this subsequent video, towards the New Age community, because New Agers, this guy is your Pope. And so I would like to hear some type of response from the New Age community, absolutely speaking out about this disgusting pervert, because that's exactly what he is. He's literally trying to make light of this incident. Some are even trying to say it's cultural. Really? It's cultural to ask a child to suck your tongue? I mean, does anybody really believe that? And, I'm just really sick and tired of the constant corruption we see in this religion, and this corrupted religion, because it's just as corrupted as all the other religions. We know that. I've mentioned that many times in all of my live streams, how all of the different religions have now been infiltrated and are now corrupted, and Buddhism has not escaped. And in fact, they've literally made Buddhism the religion of the New Age. And so I'm just interested to hear from New Agers how they respond to this incident and all of the other incidents. I mean, this isn't just the only incident we've seen come from the Dalai Lama and Buddhism. We've actually seen that Tiger Temple had to be closed down due to the animal abuse. I mean, they literally had to euthanize, I think, about 86 tigers. What's going on? I mean, I actually had a lot of, when this happened, this outrage happened in regards to the Tiger Temple, I had New Agers literally saying to me, oh, it's Thailand. As though that makes any kind of difference. It's just ridiculous. No, this is the religion that you have aligned yourself with, New Agers. This is the love and light religion that you have attached yourself to. And so I would like to know how the animal abuse, the abuse of wild animals, actually keeping them in captivity and starving them to death and mistreating them, is love and light. I would like to know how child rape is love and light. I mean, there are now many instances where we have seen that these Buddhist temples are full of child predators, and they are raping and sexually abusing children in these temples. But we never hear the New Age community actually address this, do we? And I mean, I'm sure these New Agers are the first to actually scoff at Catholics and Christians when we see that there are incidences regarding the clergy and the priests raping children and sexually abusing children, but they won't actually look at themselves and look at their own religion, because this is their religion. I don't care whether they try and, pretend that Buddhism isn't their religion, but this is exactly what the Antichrists have done. They've given a religion to everybody, and they have made the Buddhist religion the New Ager religion. And it all started, way back in, the 1970s, the age of Aquarius, peace, love, and mung beans, all of this meditate to enlightenment and doing yoga, and, that's going to make you more spiritually enlightened. These people align themselves with this religion, and we can see that this religion is literally as corrupted as all of the other religions. But I can guarantee that none of these New Agers are going to actually address this or speak out about this, because they're fakes. They're as fake as their Pope, as their Dalai Lama Pope. They're just as fake. You know, and I've said this for a long time, that New Agers are some of the fakest and nastiest people I have ever met, probably even nastier than modern Christians, and they can get quite nasty. I've literally got a modern Christian who has probably made about 5 different channel accounts so far, and has been abusing and attacking me over the last few days since I uploaded my last live stream in regards to the Bible being an occulted work. But you can absolutely guarantee that New Agers are even nastier than modern Christians. And I have had many experiences with New Agers who literally will be so nice to me when everyone is watching, you know, and their comments are very passive aggressive, but then they will send me personal messages with the most nastiest attacks that I've ever had. So these are the people who are surface dwellers. I've often called them surface dwellers. They live up in their head, okay? They delude themselves that they can just, you know, meditate themselves into being enlightened. They delude themselves that all they have to do is meditate to raise their, you know, their vibration. These people hide from the world literally up in their head. They hate anybody that brings them any negative information or negative news, because they just want to pretend that everything is positive all the time. They literally have been deluded, you know, deluding themselves that wherever they focus their energy is what's going to attract this energy to them, so that they will literally not look at anything negative. So, you know, even though there are children suffering in other countries, you would think someone who claims to be all about love and light and kindness and caring and helping others and peace and making the world a better place, you would think that they would, you know, speak out about the terrible situation that children are facing right now. But no, you never see love and lighters, you never see New Agers speaking out about the horrible situation that a lot of children are in right now in war-torn countries. In fact, they won't even actually address or look at news about war in other countries or the situation that children are in other countries, because they're cowards, and they literally have been fooled into believing that if they focus or look at anything that's negative, they will bring it into their experience. And I have literally had them say that that bad things and negative things happen to people because they've got low energy. You know, their vibration is low. Excuse me, I've got oh God. Yeah, so these people have literally fooled themselves into believing that looking at anything negative is going to bring it into their experience, and literally that negative things happen to people because they've got a low vibration. And so the only way that you can raise your vibration is to literally go meditate. So I asked them, so why are the children in these war-torn countries having their legs blown off? Like, is this because they've done something negative to warrant this? You know, and yeah, they normally can't answer that because they are literally just fools. They're a bunch of clowns. Their Pope is a clown. He's obviously always, you know, making jokes and light of all these different situations, and literally he's a pedophile. He has shown himself. He has literally unmasked himself. Can you see what they're doing, guys? I mean, it's not just the Pope. I mean, it's and I'm talking about the Dalai Lama, the Pope of the New Age. I mean, they're literally showing us who they are now. They want us to see them. They want us to see how evil they are. And so I'm hoping that this is going to wake up some New Agers. And, you know, I was a New Ager once upon a time, you know, back in 2011, when I first started doing all the research into the subject of spirituality. I was kind of a victim of the New Age movement. But I actually went and did the research and found out that they were a bunch of frauds, and found out that a lot of what people claim in the New Age community, a lot of these New Age gurus and these people that hold themselves up to be experts in the New Age and spiritual gurus, are just speaking a load of shit. Okay, a load of bullshit. Because you go and actually study the texts where they claim to take all this knowledge from, and none of what they claim can be found in any of the texts. So it's just a load of bullshit. There is no meditating to enlightenment. There is no text that will tell you that you can meditate to enlightenment. There is no way you can meditate to enlightenment. So not only are they clowns because they believe in the bullshit that is pushed from the New Age community, they're absolute clowns, and they're absolutely as deceitful as their New Age Pope, because they know that this organisation is corrupted. I am showing you many different pictures in regards to how corrupted this organisation is. It wasn't hard for me to find these pictures. I literally just found them by Googling, for about 10 minutes. And I put together this loop of photos and articles just that I found, in 10 minutes, because I knew I just wanted to do a live stream about this disgusting piece of shit that calls himself a Dalai Lama. So I wanted to, get some photos. So I pretty much found all these photos very easily. So, these New Agers have access to this information just like I do. And so when we have new information come into our experience, we're supposed to act on that information, okay? And we're supposed to use that information to make informed decisions and informed choices. And so just as like every single Catholic should no longer be a Catholic and should denounce that religion outright and denounce their attachment to that religion, and I was actually born a Catholic, believe it or not. My family were Catholic, and I have openly denounced that religion many times. I literally would spit in the face of the Jesuit Pope given the opportunity, and absolutely denounce that religion as a completely infiltrated antichrist movement, just as all religions are. So if I can do that to the religion that I was born into, unfortunately, then I am sure that New Agers should not have any problem in denouncing their attachment to Buddhism and the Dalai Lama. I mean, every time the Dalai Lama comes to the US, to any Western culture, it's literally Western people and New Agers who go and visit this piece of shit. Okay? So please tell me how you're any different to these Christians and Catholics that are still attached to Catholicism. And I'm not just talking about Catholics, actually, because every single modern Christian out there, you're all taking your canon, your interpretation of the texts from the Catholic Church. So you really know better than Catholics. I know, modern Christians are usually horrified, absolutely horrified, when you even call them Christians. If you say to another Christian of a different Christian sect, Catholics are a Christian sect as well, they will absolutely be horrified that you even, dare mention that. And they will, absolutely say that, oh no, Catholics aren't Christian. Oh yes, they are. Not only are they Christians, it was the Catholic bishops and the Emperor Constantine who literally decided on the books that would go into your Bible. And how do you think that they decided on those books? Were they working through the Holy Spirit? Well, the Emperor Constantine wasn't even a Christian, okay? He literally just wanted to consolidate all of the Christian sects and all of the different interpretations that they had for the Gospels into one agreed upon narrative so that he could consolidate his power. It was political. And so how do you think that they actually put all of these Gospels into the Bible that you now take for your truth and interpret it in the same way that your clergy tell you to interpret it, and how the Catholic Church actually interpret it? Well, they voted on it. Yes, they voted on it. So there was no, mystical experience. There was no, working through the Holy Spirit to decide on what gospel should go into the Bible. No, they literally voted on it, and then they literally decided on what the interpretation was going to be. And you know what they decided? They decided that they were no longer going to allow Christians to worship God the Father, that they were going to elevate the Son to be equal to the Father, and that everyone would have to now worship Jesus as God. So you have been fooled, you simple-minded, cowardly people who cannot actually go and think for yourself. And you deserve everything that is coming to you, just as the New Agers do, because they are too cowardly and simple-minded to actually go and do any of their own research, and they just want to hide up in their heads, pretending they can just hide away from everything that is negative. Now, the only reason that New Agers can hide up in their head from negative information and negative, news is because they have the luxury of living in a pretty stable environment in their Western, first world, Western society. That is the only reason that they have been afforded an opportunity to delude themselves into the beliefs of the New Age movement. Because had they actually lived in a country that was experiencing instability like Syria or Libya or Afghanistan or Iraq or any of these other Middle Eastern countries, Yemen, plenty of these countries that are very unstable and people are literally just trying to scrape together an existence. People can't afford to have these types of delusional beliefs that, you can just meditate to raise your vibration, and if anything negative is happening to you, it's because you brought it into your experience. Yes, New Agers, I know all of your beliefs. As I said, I was unfortunately caught up in this movement until I found out it was completely fraudulent. And so the only reason that New Agers can continue to delude themselves with these ridiculous beliefs is because they are living in a society, they have the luxury of living in a very stable society right now. Right now. But that's not always going to be the case, because unfortunately for us first worlders, us Westerners, the antichrists who have infiltrated not only all of our religions but also all of our governments, our banking institutes, our educational institutes, our science institutes, our medical institutes, our media. Let me know if I've left one out, but they've literally infiltrated every single part of our society. Well, they're going to punish first world Westerners very soon. We are literally just in the calm before the storm. And so all of these people, these New Agers who have been hiding up in their heads because they have been afforded the luxury to do so, and following these pieces of shit like the Dalai Lama and lying to themselves that Buddhism is literally the same mystical religion as it was thousands of years ago, just like modern Christians lie to themselves that Christianity was what it was thousands of years ago as well. Well, they're no longer going to be afforded this luxury to have these delusional beliefs, because very soon the Antichrists are going to act out, and they are going to punish us first worlders. And they are going to punish us in a way where we are going to experience lack in our lives. A lack of food, a lack of money, a lack of housing. We are going to experience what second and third world countries have been experiencing, because they are going to punish us. And, there are going to be many other cultures who are going to relish in that, because we're not very liked. Our government in our name has been enacting a lot of evil on a lot of different cultures, and so people are not going to come and help us. Okay, no one is going to come and help us, and we are going to suffer a lot. And so those who actually have done the research and understand who they are, not just as a material person, but also as a soul, don't fear death and don't fear this material world in which we have unfortunately now had to experience our lives, our incarnation. However, these people that have been deluding themselves like New Agers, hiding up in their head from anything negative, how do you think they're going to cope when the Antichrists act out their script, their next subplot on First World Westerners? How do you think the New Agers are going to be able to cope with that? Because I can tell you right now, they're not going to cope at all. In fact, they're going to probably go insane and probably not be able to comprehend the amount of evil and the amount of misery that they are soon to experience. And this is the same for Christians, actually. Modern Christians, you're really no different, because you literally think that there's someone coming to save you. And you literally have been following a false teaching and have elevated the Son to be equal to the Father, and so therefore you have blasphemed the Son and the Father. And so you actually think that when Jesus is returned, that he's going to be your bestie, you know, and he's going to come and give you a big hug and, how are you, mate? How are you, buddy? And he's not. I mean, I think you guys are going to be literally lucky not to lose your heads, okay? Because I don't think it's going to be very nice when you literally are faced with the truth of how you have been fooled to walk the wide path to destruction, because you are so simple-minded and cowardly and lack a spine that you have just literally handed over your minds and your souls to the Catholic Church. Okay, to the same people, the same organisation that was burning people 600-700 years ago. Literally burning people to death for reading the Bible in English. You think that's the actions of godly men? Can some modern Christians show me where in the Bible Jesus actually said to burn people alive if they didn't accept the doctrine of Christianity, or they didn't accept the interpretation of the Catholic Church? Can somebody please show me that verse where Jesus said it was okay to torture people to death in dungeons, to flay them of their skin, to burn them at the stake, to hack them to death in front of their families and their children, because this is what they literally did to the Gnostic Cathars. The Gnostic Cathars were the last Christians to hold out against the Catholic Church and refuse to accept the Catholic canon. And we know what happened to the Gnostic Cathars, don't we? Or do we? Because I don't really see many people talking about what the Catholic Church did to the Gnostic Cathars. And they literally slaughtered in cold blood about 1 million Gnostic Cathars. And yet I don't see anybody talking about that. I don't see anybody bringing that up. I mean, I hear all about the slavery, and I hear all about how I have to actually feel terrible because people that I didn't even know that just happen to share the same colour skin I do did some evil stuff to a certain group of people. And apparently that's my fault. You know, even though I wasn't even, you know, related to any of these small group of people that happen to just have the same colour skin I did, you know, but of course, apparently this is my fault according to this certain section of our community and society right now. So can somebody tell me why there's no outrage about what the Catholic Church did to the Gnostic Cathars? You know, I mean, where is the justice for them? Does justice have like a cut-off date, like an expiration date? So what happened 250 years ago, 300 years ago, we can still be outraged about. But what happened 600, 700 years ago, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. Just forget that ever happened. Let's sweep it under the carpet. Let's pretend that didn't even effing happen. Yeah, not here, not going to happen with me. I'm sorry. I'm not forgetting that. I'm holding the Catholic Church to account, and I'm holding every freaking Christian and Catholic to account as well, because as far as I'm concerned, you're aligning yourself with this evil organization who, as you can see by the photos that I'm showing you, are walking hand in hand with Buddhists. I mean, it's all a big joke. Look at them laughing. You know, they think it's funny because they've literally been able to corral everybody down a certain path and then brainwash them. And so for the people that weren't going to be aligned with Christianity and they weren't going to be convinced by the Christian narrative that they had provided, they corralled them all down to the New Age religion, because it is a religion, okay? Not that they really know what they believe. I mean, they literally just believe whatever sounds good. I mean, that's a New Age. At least I can respect that Christians still believe in God the Father, even though they don't worship him or actually pray to him. They pray to his Son. I mean, they are, you know, idiots in that way and have allowed themselves to be steered down the wrong path. But at least they still do know that there is, you know, God the Father. Whereas New Agers, what do you even believe? I mean, do you even know? It changes depending on who you speak to, because they just make it up as they go. I mean, it's literally just whatever they want. I mean, some believe they are gods. They're their own gods. Some believe that, you know, whatever you visualize and whatever you repeat over and over again, you're just going to manifest it. Some believe that you can just meditate yourself into being enlightened. So you just basically sit there for 10 minutes before you go to work every day, and then, I don't know, one day at some time, all knowledge is just going to fall into your head or something, and you're just going to know everything. Some believe that there's aliens, an alien race called the Galactic Federation that's going to come down and save us, and at the moment they're just orbiting the planet, waiting for the right time. Hello? It's been a shit show down here for at least the last 10 years since I've been hearing that bullshit. Where are they? You know, we've got literally millions of children dying under bombs. Where's this Galactic Federation coming and saving the children? Yeah, I mean, New Agers, you just don't even know what you believe. You just literally believe whatever sounds good because you really aren't very spiritual at all. You're shallow thinkers. Anyone that's really a deep thinker goes beyond just what they're told by somebody that looks impressive. Unfortunately, it's very, very few. I mean, literally very, 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 very few people take the narrow path. Most people just go down that wide path of destruction because, well, they're spiritually lazy, they're mentally lazy, they're cowardly, they lack backbone, they're not very intelligent because they've handed over their minds to the establishment. And so if somebody's saying something to them that doesn't wear a white coat or isn't attached to some educational institute, which, by the way, all of the universities, go and look who established them. Oh, that would be the Catholic Church. Funny that. Funny how all roads always lead back to Rome, isn't it? If you really go and look. Very, very funny how that is always the case. And who do all of our global leaders go and kiss the ring of? That would be the Jesuit Pope. So that would be all of our governments are also corrupted and infiltrated. So, I mean, I really don't know how anybody can call themselves or actually consider themselves to be intellectual or awake and still not figure out that the Catholic Church are the hidden hand behind everything, that the Jesuits are the hidden hand behind everything that's happening right now. Even Trump went to go and kiss the ring of the Jesuit. Yeah, Trump, that all of the people who think they're awake literally look to him as some kind of savior, and still do, even after how he behaved in the last time he literally had a opportunity to make change, to drain the swamp. And what did he do? He just acted like every other politician, because he is just another actor in the Jesuit script, playing his part. So, you know, I really hope that the people who watch this video start thinking about, you know, and I'm talking to the people who are New Agers or modern Christians, and I know there wouldn't be too many because they pretty much would just probably turn it off as soon as I started, you know, triggering them with the truth and the facts. But if you still manage to continue listening, then use this opportunity to actually change course and find the right path. You know, don't keep continuing to go down the same path when you can see it's corrupted. Okay, because then you really are a coward. Then you really are spiritually apathetic and lack a backbone. I mean, you have new information now. Your Pope is literally a pedophile. Your Pope is literally showing you that he is corrupted, that he's an evil piece of shit, like all the other popes, like all the other clergy, like all of the politicians, okay? And they're playing their part in a script to keep you brainwashed and unaware of the truth. So I really hope that you use this opportunity that he's given you. He's literally given you an opportunity to turn away from this false path and go and find the truth, to go and do some research, to go and find what true spirituality really is. And it's not Buddhism, not modern Buddhism. It's not meditating. It's not yoga. It's not doing mushy trips and LSD trips and ayahuasca trips and going to Peru and listening to some charlatan guru down in Peru tell you a load of bullshit too. Okay, time to wake up, people. Okay, it's time to wake up. You are running out of time to get it because they are about to play out the next part in their script, and it's not going to be pleasant for any of us. But as I said, those of us who understand who we are beyond the material body, and we know it truth, we know it as truth. I know that I am a soul as much as I know that the sun is going to rise every morning and set every night. You know, I know it beyond any doubt that I am a soul. If you don't know that, if you just think, well, maybe I could be a soul, maybe, or maybe not, then you have work to do, because you need to go find yourself. You need to go find that part of who you are so that they don't have any power over you anymore, because the only way that they have power over you is fear of death. You don't fear death of your physical container, they have no more power over you. And you're going to want to know that for absolute certain. You're going to want to build your house on rock and not on sand for what they have planned for us. So I'm going to leave it here for now, guys. It was just a short stream. I just wanted to bring you this information in regards to the Pope of the New Age cult, so that I would give them the opportunity to respond to me and defend their Pope, or perhaps admit that, yes, you know, they have actually been led astray, led down a false path, and that they are going to make a concerted effort to go and research into the knowledge and find the truth, so that they are no longer fooled by these charlatans, these child rapists who are preying on our beautiful, innocent and pure little souls, while we just stand there and allow it and make excuses for them. It's disgusting, and it's time that we stop allowing ourselves to be played by these pieces of shit, because they are literally mocking us, guys. They are laughing at us and they are mocking us. And while we keep chasing our tails with all of these different circuses that they provide for us, we are giving over our power to them. So take back your power, guys. Take it back, because as I said, we're running out of time, okay? Because they've just hit pause for now, and they are about to crown their false messiah on May the 6th. And the shit show is going to escalate big time. They're just waiting, okay? They're just waiting. So I can assure you that after May the 6th, we are going to see a big escalation in a lot of the evil that is in our midst, guys. They are going to continue to make our lives as miserable as possible. So right now, they're just hit pause. So don't be lulled into any false sense of security, okay? Because they've just hit pause, all right? And the same evil that was playing out what they did to us a couple of years ago, okay, in 2020, they're still in power, all right? Nothing's changed. They've just basically finished one subplot, and they're now about to start a new subplot, and that is going to be global financial collapse and bringing in communism, full communism, and we are going to be under surveillance, fully under surveillance, okay? Absolutely no freedom at all. So the only freedom you're going to know is your soul's freedom and your intellectual freedom, okay? Because they can never take that from us. When you know the truth, they can never take that from you. So that's where you need to get yourself, and you're running out of time. That's all I've got to say. I'm going to leave it here. I am going to do another live stream for you guys over in the US. That's going to be Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Aussies, that's going to be Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to be doing the next live stream about fate and destiny. So if you want to join us for that discussion, then please do. But as always, peace out.